Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars.
We're live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and, well, you know, I'm not good on the map, but I'd say we're out west a little bit, out in South Dakota at the Huset's Speedway for a little Thursday Night Thunder. Now, those of you tuning in that aren't familiar with the Coast to Coast Racing League, we've been running Hometown Heroes here. We were just here last night in the midgets, the 360 sprints, and then the 410s. We run a triple header, so if you don't watch that, I advise you to. It's been good racing all season. And coming into Huset's, I expect more of it. You know, it's one of those tracks where it may get a little rough first couple laps, but it's been known to get some long green flag runs, and we're going to see some slide jobs. Everybody wants to funnel out towards the wall, coming out of 2 or 4. I don't care if you run the whole way around the bottom. Momentum's going to carry you up towards that wall pretty close. You know, if we get that tack patch, we may see guys baby it coming off the corner just to make sure they're a little lower than normal going down the straightaways. But this track is, it hasn't been one line. That's not the word for it because, well, you'll get to see. I mean, drivers will go every which way there's dirt in the middle of these corners. There's grip everywhere. It's just fighting for real estate going down the straightaway where you may run into some troubles. And, well, you know, why are we even here? I'll tell you why. Thanks to 2 teams coming together Venom Racing and Full Throttle Motorsports teaming up for this broadcast. We're going to see a lot of those drivers running towards the front throughout the night, I'd imagine. You know what? Let's take a look at one of them now. Mike Brewer there in the 390. His teammate right behind him, Scott Rayome. Both FTM drivers. Now, will we be able to give any love to any of the Venom racers? Yes, we will. Once his car appears, Trevor Giroux, the driver from Venom. Let's see. No. Not seeing any other Venom drivers. He may be all alone here tonight. Yeah, it looks like he is. So Trevor's going to have to represent for the team here this evening. Car right in front of him. A guy we haven't seen on the racetrack in a long time. The 69 of Aiden Young. Aiden Young, glad to have the kid back as the checkered flag waves on warm-ups. And we get ready to roll into qualifying here. Let's see who's going to pull out on the racetrack first. Brandon Templeton isn't in the session, so it's a battle. You know, if Brandon Templeton's here, he's going to win that race off pit road. 11 out of 10 times, if that's even possible. But Brandon Dittmer going to steal the torch. Going to keep it in the Brandon name here. We're going to watch him lap number 1, the 83, looking to go low and slow here in South Dakota. 3 and 4 going to move up a little bit. Maybe didn't like 1 and 2. Going to re-go at it. He's going to go back low here. He was purple through Sector 2, but that's taken away by Trevor Giroux and Randall Dixon now with the quick time. Brandon Dittmer, as we watch him come around, can he improve quicker through Sector 2? Not going to be enough. Currently P5 as Michael Vitale, lap number 1, runs a 13 flat. He's quick time. Green, that means he's improving. Let's see the lap time. 12.978 for Michael Vitale. Great lap for Michael, man. We haven't seen a lot of guys improve on lap number 2. Mike Brewer, though, lap number 1, he steals it. Takes it away. Can Brewer improve? Slower through Sector 1 and 2. Not going to find any more speed, but Kurt Schatzer, wow, he shot out of a cannon there. And let's take a look. Sammy Bachman, purple, quick time. The Samaconda strikes again. Rolling down the backstretch, doesn't need to improve, but he's sure going to try. Can't take the racer out of that 007. Not going to improve, but with a 12.86. Welcome to the top of the charts, Samuel Bachman. As well, here comes Putt Putt. He's somebody who could maybe do something. Lap number 1, not impressive. P9. Let's see. Oh, no, not going to have enough time to get it done. And Gavin Chatham there, I just saw on the bottom of the screen, he was clicking laps in, but I don't think he had enough time to get it in either. He didn't. Tough break there for Gavin. Let's take a look here at the starting grid. Heat race number 1. Row number 5 to the outside in the 99. The Dark Knight Gavin Chatham. And lined up is inside the 75 of the Mayor, Stephen Bixler. Row number 4 to that top shelf in the 513, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. And to his inside, the 21 of Blackjack, John Tobias. Row number 3 to that top shelf, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. And to his inside, the 051 of Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson. Row number 2, you got the Samacondo on the outside in the 007, Samuel Bachman. And to his inside, the 122 of Brian Dickens. Row number 1 for heat race number 1, starting on the outside, the 213 of Michael Vitale, and starting on the pole, the 5 of Slide Job, Isaac Salas. Winner of heat race number 1 will start on the pole. Know how important that is? Let's see what happens. The Steve King Foundation pace car is off. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 8 laps to play. Heat race number 1 is underway. Michael Vitale looking for a good run there on the outside as there's contact 3 wide behind. Oh, you got the 122 of Dickens trying to pinch Clay Christopherson down low. Clay not giving an inch, man. Trying to fight, trying to find that moisture. They touch. Sends Brian sideways. Clay's going to end up paying for that. Going to lose one, maybe two spots as Blackjack goes to the outside. Oh, man, speaking of Blackjack, new paint job here for Blackjack. Oh, he gets muscled up out of the way. Now him and Bixler rub, and Bixler not going to be able to get the spot done, but Blackjack falling to the back as Michael Vitale tries to mount a charge. He knows he needs to because that 007 is coming behind. He's ready to play. Brian Dickens right now. He's in P5. Everyone's going to make the feature tonight. Only 19 cars, so not going to need a beam made. Normally that spot number 5 is where you don't want to be, but Dickens knows, hey, it's going to be a long one, and well, the races he has won this season, he started up front, so he needs to do something he hasn't done all season and work his way through a feature unless something big happens here in the last lap and a half here as we roll through 3 and 4. Isaac Salas looks at the white flag. He's got one more lap to go. Isaac smooth through 3 and 4, looking to sail it, or smooth through 1 and 2, sails it into 3 and 4, and the checkered flag waves. Isaac Salas wins heat race number 1. Michael Vitale P2, Sam Bachman 3rd, Brandon Dittmer 4th, and Brian Dickens rounds out your top 5. As we get ready here, heat race number 2, your second and final heat race here in the small block modifieds presented by the Full Throttle Motorsports and Venom Racing team. Let's take a look at that starting lineup. All by his lonesome inside of row number 5, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row number 4 to the outside, the young gun in the 69, Aiden Young, into the inside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Row number 3 to the outside, Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr., and lining up to his inside, the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. Mike Brewer, the FTM driver, takes that 390 and lines up on the outside of Kurt Schatzer for row number 2. And row number 1 for your second and final heat race on the outside, the 011 of Randall Dixon and my homie Scott Rayome starts P1 in the 444 as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. Let's go play. Good jump there for the 444 of Scott Rayome as we try to we'll correct our little double over here. We'll get that settled for you guys. Randall Dixon right now to the inside. Oh, he shut the door. Mike Brewer had a lot of momentum on the outside. Just couldn't get the run to stick. Had to lift out of that. Kurt Schatzer, he thought the best of it too. Lifted out, didn't want to go in there and get stuck on the bottom again. Seems like the high side's where you want to be as the Philly Flyer gives a little bump to Mr. Wednesday Night, and Brian Moore Sr. loses the position. Scott Rayome with 5 to go leads the way here at Hughes Speedway. Coming off the 2, we watch the drivers set sail. Well, you just get to listen to those motors, man. These things sound so good. Wait till we get the big blocks out. Unleash the real horses. Then it's time to play as we go through 3 and 4. 3 laps to go. Drivers just running single file. I mean, you're seeing it here. Not a lot of battling right now. Going to need the track to widen up here. Get a high line rolling as Randy Shreves tries to call me a liar. Stick to the inside. Maybe gets those elbows out. Light touch. Has to lift, though. Doesn't want to spin him around. And Aiden Young now has visions of driving that thing in, but Randy Shreves said, that's a no-go. Have to go up here and shut the door as the white flag flies. One more trip around heat race number 2. Scott Rayome takes that 444, sails it through 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves, and Scott Rayome wins heat race number 2, followed by Randall Dixon, Mike Brewer, Kurt Schatzer, and Trevor Giroux, your top 5. As we get ready to take a quick break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. And we'll be right back with your small block modified feature right after this. We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, about ready to go into the feature, but as you saw there, C2C Speed Week's coming up, so make sure you go to c2crl.com, sign up and register. It's for the Steve King Foundation. Great cause. We try to support them as many times as we can. You know, we do the Knoxville Nationals, and it's cool. The second annual Speed Weeks. Make sure you sign up. It's going to be a heck of a show, and hey, you'll get to listen to me. So make sure you sign up. If you can't race, you know, maybe think about donating. It's a great cause. Got my word for it here. Been supporting those guys for some time. Well, they deserve it. Let's take a look at the starting grid here. Blackjack John Tobias lines up at the tail end of the field, P19. Row number 9 to the top shelf, the 7 of Bob DeGood. And on the inside, the mare, Steve Bixler. The young gun, Aiden Young, lines up on the top shelf of row number 8. And to his inside, the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham. Row number 7 to the outside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Lining up on the inside in lucky number 13, the 051 of Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson. Mr. Wednesday Night takes the 055 and lines up on the outside of row number 6. And to his inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Row number 5 on the outside, the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. And to his inside, the 122 of Brian Dickens. Row number 4 to the outside, the 218 of Superman, Kurt Schatzer. And lining up on the inside, the 83 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Row number 3, the 390 of Mike Brewer to the outside, and the 007 of the Sam Akonda, Sam Buckman to the inside. Row number 2 to the outside, the 011 of Randall Dixon, and lining up on the inside, the 213 of Michael Vitale. Row number 1 for your A main here in the small block modifieds. Starting on the outside, the 444 of Scott Rayon. And starting on the pole, the 5 of Slide Job, Isaac Salas. As drivers roll through 3 and 4 for the final time. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 30 laps to play at the Clay at Use-It Speedway. We're underway. Isaac Salas with a good run here down off the basement. But now he clips the berm. What does that mean for his exit? Hasn't compromised it. Able to slide up in front of the 444. But now gets a little bit of a hook there up in the outside wall. No caution. And Isaac Salas, oh man, he just watches a top 5 slowly slip out of his grasp, excuse me. And Isaac Salas, man, he's going to be wondering what he can do different here to get this thing to work, to get it to stick, as Sam Bachman takes a look on the inside of Michael Vitale, who inherited the lead after that rough house and up front. Michael Vitale, no stranger to the podium, but not very often he finishes on top of that podium. And Michael Vitale, he would absolutely love to bring one home. And, well, Michael knows. Maybe not supposed to say this, but he's got me rooting for him up here, that's for sure. See if he can hold this thing on as we take a peek back through the field here. Mike Brewer. We know the Brew Crew's out there watching tonight. Can that 390 work his way on up right now? Finds himself under the 011 of Randall Dixon. But Randall, too much momentum on the outside for Brewer to get it done. He takes a peek, falls in line, and now Brian Dickens looking to make a move on the inside is Scott Rayon. We saw him fall back to 4th, working his way back on up to the podium. Can he find a way around his teammate there in the 007? Sam Bachman loves that inside line, and Michael Vitale doing a good job, you know, running that middle on entry. Now he may be taking a peek in that mirror, sees what's working for the 444. Going to move a lane up in 1, but 3 and 4 are going to stay in that middle line. And all of a sudden, oh man, he goes up, he shuts the door. Scott Rayon, he's got to pull in the reins here, but maybe that's all his teammate needed. In the 007, can Sam Bachman throw a slide job? Can he complete the pass? He does, coming out of 4. Give it to the 007, new leader this time. The Spider Monkey looking back low here on the 444. Man, you could put the top 4 under a blanket right now. one mistake out of any one of these drivers, and they got a roaring pack here behind him. As you see, Randy Shreves kind of in the middle of that. Trevor Giroux as well. But Randy Shreves, reason we stop on him, he started 14th up to 7th already. Heck of a run for the 56 of Randy Shreves. And you got to think, man, he gets a caution here or there, maybe 2 or 3 more throughout the race. Not that we want one, but that could be what the 56 needs. He's got a lot of pace. Randy Shreves is right now Sam Akonda, man, just slithering away from the field here. 16 laps to go. If you put the 007 out front without any speed bumps and no Anthony Morano to go in there and mess him up a little bit, deal with him, I just don't know who can play with him. Now, Isaac might have had a chance, if not for the opening flub in there, but that's a tough break and just one that Isaac knows is going to have to shake off. It's a long season. You can't get hung up on it now. As I said, Trevor was the only Venom racer. That clearly was wrong because Isaac was here. What am I even saying? I never corrected that. I can't believe that. But hey, no fact checker needed. I can fact check myself here. Brandon Dittmer to the inside. Oh, a little contact there with Scott Rayome. And now Superman, he's got the cape flapping on the outside. Kurt Schatzer looking to move himself firmly into the top 5. He is there right now, but you put yourself in 4th, give yourself that little bit of a cushion. But the Spider Monkey throws that short slider. Kurt Schatzer saw the writing on the wall, fell in line. No reason to cross under there. Make a move. The Spider Monkey was able to work around Kurt Kurt and Brandon started right beside each other. They've actually moved up the field together, so Kurt's been able to just hook on and just follow him up through the pack. Here's Brian Dickens. We talked about him. Won the feature last week, had already won once earlier this season. He's not really having any luck. Tough to pass at this racetrack. You're seeing the same for the 99 of Gavin Chatham. He's kind of stuck there, not able to slide up in front of the 122. And you can see when you run in low in the corner, especially 3 and 4, when you can't keep up that exit speed, boy, I mean, Brian able to gap him severely, 2 car lengths. And Gavin he's got to go back to work for 2, maybe 3 laps before he can even get close enough to think about going and playing again. And Mike Brewer taking a peek here on the 56. Thought about a slide job, not enough room. But the Brew crew's out there yelling at him, telling him to send it. He does. Mike Brewer slides up. He's got the preferred line right now. What does Randy Shreves do? Randy going to keep it low and slow, and I think that's what the Philly Flyer likes. He's licking his chops here, trying to take a peek on the outside as Brewer maybe pops the top a little bit, gets in the outside wall. There's the battle raging here in front. Scott Rayome trying to get into that Brandon Dittmer trying to get in that 3rd and final podium spot around Scott Rayome. This is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here. As my apologies if you heard that through the broadcast. Apparently Windows told me I need to update, so we'll do that a little bit later here. But 2 laps to go. This time is Sam Bachman all alone out front, man. This is just flag to flag race. Something Sam absolutely is going to love. You see the white flag flying. One more trip around. Sam gonna need, for the rest of the field, gonna need a miracle to run this guy down. 2.5 seconds as we come to the line. Out of 3 and 4, Sam Bachman wins your A main here in the small block modifieds. 30 laps, green flag. Scott Rayome P2. Michael Vitale hangs on at the line over the Spider Monkey Brandon Dittmer. Man, oh man, what a race there. Heck of a finish from the boys, and you see Michael Vitale coming around. That wasn't Michael Vitale, excuse me. Let's find Michael here. As Michael, maybe Oh, yeah, right front's broken, so he's having to nurse that thing around real slow. Now, sorry, you're going to see the iRacing pop up. I have to close that Windows update thing, or that's going to bug me severely. But Michael Vitale, man, let's take a look here. This checkered flag lap. We're going to change this here. We're going to do this on the fly. Now, so this is coming to the checker here. We're 3 wide. Michael Vitale gets a little sideways. Oh! We're giving that to Michael Vitale. Man, oh man. Okay, all right. Let's check this out one more time. Now, obviously, we're limited what we can do. Let's see. I'll try to spin this a little bit and lower us down. My apologies here. Okay, maybe this view is a little more fair towards... Oh. Man. I don't know. All right. Can we go? Let's see here. Let's go over the top. Man, okay. Now, obviously, it's iRacing's call. But you be the judge, man. It's looking to me like... Now, SDK's lied to me before. Here I am probably looking like an idiot. Let's see. No, okay. They're giving it to him by 1,000th of a second, Michael Vitale. But, man, oh, man. Sure looks like the Spider Monkey of Brandon Dittmer had that one to me. But, hey, how can you argue? Michael Vitale, great run. And I told you, one of my favorites. He's going to take it how he can get it. Let's see if we can get a word here with the 213 of Michael Vitale.
Saudi hits me up.
Hey, Mike, I pull you up. I always do a good job of doing that while you guys are talking.
Yeah, you do.
How you doing
get me
tonight,
right in the
man?
heat of the moment.
What a battle to the line, Mike. That was, man, one of the closest finishes we've ever seen there for P3. What's going through your head coming out of 4-3 wide?
Am I getting a bumper or a door because we were that tight?
I love the honesty there, man.
Yeah, that's the honesty right there. I gotta go get a neck workout after this one. But it was all fun. It was tight racing. Great bunch of guys up there, and had a blast.
Yeah, obviously you held on to P2 there for quite some time, and even the lead there for a while. But just what was it about that 007 tonight? It seemed like once he was able to work around, man, he was in a class of his own.
Yeah, I know we went. I couldn't tell you what corner we were in. I know we were going in. I think Isaac and someone else got into it. I think it might have been Isaac and Scott. And I cut down a little bit. I guess I didn't cut down enough because Sam went right underneath me. I was focused more to the right on not hitting them and not focusing enough on the bottom to see Sam get underneath me. So, but it was all good.
Yeah, at the end of the day, too, I didn't even ask him, Mike. 30 laps green flag, short track racing, you're up on the wheel. How are we even feeling? Hey, tired?
I tell you, the arms are a little wiggly right now. So it's definitely a workout, especially like you said, when you're up there competing with these guys, it's a workout.
Yeah, now, okay, so obviously, I know poker, you can't lay your cards out on the table, but I got to take a quick peek. Are we maybe thinking of bringing a small block back out here, or are we going to dedicate ourselves to that big block in the next one?
I'll be honest with me, it's no secret. If there's a big block available, I'm going to run the big block. I know
I'm
a lot
right
of the guys,
there with you.
A lot of guys like to opt for that 358, but the reason I run two divisions is to run two different cars, so I stick with the big block. Sometimes it don't work out, but I always give it a shot.
No, yeah, and at the end of the day, I always feel like I can feather it a little bit and try to make up for it. It doesn't work, but I always try to tell myself that.
Yeah. No, I watch a lot of them guys, like I know Anthony and a couple of them guys over there. They run the 358s on certain tracks, and it works out well for them. But I enjoy the big block. I always give it a run and see what I can do.
Well, heck of a finish there, Michael. Exciting race there. You could have put you 4 under a blanket for most of the race. Hell of a job out there. Who you want to thank?
I want to thank everybody at the Vitale Motorsports, all my teammates, my brother Anthony, Billy Roberts over at Gears Unlimited, Randy, Jake. My wife let me do this every night. you for broadcasting, Coast to Coast for giving us a place to race.
Well, hey, heck of a job, Michael. Hopefully we're talking to you twice here tonight. Good luck in the big blocks, brother.
All right, brother. Be good.
That's Michael Vitale, your P3 finisher. What a finish at the line. And the guy who edged him out on the outside, this man, Scott Rayome. Scott, dude, what are you thinking? I'm just going to start it out. What are you thinking going through 3 and 4? Did you know you're on the outside 3 wide?
Which time? On the first lap?
No, the final lap. First lap, that's
No, I
racing
didn't.
incident. People moving around, that's a racing incident.
No, I didn't know we were 3 wide there. I knew I had to run on the outside of Mike, but I didn't know there was another guy down there.
Yeah, Dittmer, man, he took a peek down there. He got a run on the bottom through 3 and 4. I mean, you clearly had it on that top shelf, but boy, that view coming through 3 and 4, man, you guys 3 abreast. That looked like it was a lot of fun out there. And well, how you feeling? 30 laps green flag. I mean, obviously nobody likes a race with 6, 7 cautions. I mean, who likes that? But do we like 1 or 2 here and there, or do we like to just go out and get 30 done?
Maybe at like Oswego, a couple of them wouldn't hurt, but here, no, I'm just happy to get that one over with, I guess. First and foremost, I got to apologize to Isaac. I was on the brakes hard, and he already messaged me, says he doesn't run a mirror, and obviously he didn't know I was up there, and didn't want that to happen at all. I think we were setting up for a really good race there, but sucks for Isaac, and I can't believe a caution didn't come out. I had to have had him completely sideways.
Yeah, he was completely sideways on the wall too, like almost parallel to the racetrack. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I hate that. I don't like to race that way, and I mean, it was just a racing deal, really. But still, you don't want that to happen on the first lap. But
no, yeah, it is what it is. If you guys make contact like that on a racetrack, dude, it doesn't jerk him up the racetrack like that. A lot of the internet coding and all that has to do with it. It wasn't that rough of a touch, I mean,
it really wasn't. I mean, he slid up and my nose was there. I got on the brakes and he's sideways in front of me.
I mean, in real life, that quarter panel's folding under, and I mean, while you're on the brakes and like everything, you guys live to race another day. That's just the tough deal. At the end of the day, Scott, man, you drove the wheels off this thing. Do we think, I mean, obviously you're trying to be nice there, working yourself around Vitale. But do we think maybe a late race caution? Do we have enough speed? Could anybody do anything with Sam out front, or was he just that fast?
I know we ran a league on Tuesday night here at Huset's, and it was 1-2, me and Sam had like a 2-second gap. He's really good here. Did I have anything for him? I don't know. Maybe. Hard to really say. And I'm glad it finished this way without having to really go that route. You know what I mean? We don't like to get into each other, but yeah, I mean, Sam's really good here, so it's cool to see. And I mean, it's nice that his mom still sends me pictures and stuff, so that's cool too. And yeah, I definitely got a shout out to Isaac's girlfriend Kelsey for letting him come out and race tonight. That was awesome as well.
Well, hey, before you mention Sherry as well, are we thinking about bringing a small block back out here to play again, or are we going to go to a big one?
I'm going to flip a coin. We'll see.
All right. Well, Sam, like I said, man, hell of a job. You were quick tonight. I could tell, didn't want to do anything again, even though, for real, I don't put the first one on you. That's internet deal. It sucks. But being patient, fighting for second, you still get it done. Hell of a job, man. Who you want to thank?
Obviously, all the boys over at FDM. I'm going to leave Anthony's wife, Sherry, out of this one since he's not here
tonight.
Oh, man,
I brought her up for no reason. Dang me.
I will thank Dean's girlfriend, Megan. She's like my #1 fan. All the guys at FDM, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop. He's really been working hard to get us to dig. DJ Sim Shop. I keep forgetting everybody on these things. Let's see, Swan Speed Shop, FTM, MDI TV, Shaggy, you obviously for the broadcast, Expert Insulation, Super Dirt Car, Dino over there, Logan at Hi Mom Lens, and Jack Howell, he's probably out there watching. My landlord, he loves dirt racing, so I have to make sure I text him the links. So give a shout out to him as well.
Well, there you go. Congratulations, Scott. Good luck here in the... Well, whatever the coin decides. Good luck, brother.
We're leaning towards the small block.
All righty, man. Go get him. Give him hell, brother.
All right, man.
Scott Rayom, your P2 finisher. Now we bring up his teammate here. Cracking the whip, man. Knew it was coming. The Sam Akonda strikes again. And boy, oh boy, ripping the outside here all alone. It seemed like you were just being patient there in the early stages. And once you could get around, man, nobody else was in this class. How'd that car feel?
The car felt amazing. It's probably one of my favorite tracks, to be honest. I know it's pretty new, but it's pretty fun. But on that start, I just stayed to the bottom, and I see Michael left me a little bit of room, so I got my nose in there, and he gave me a little bit more room, so we just raced it out for a couple laps, and once I got by him, it was kind of just home sweet home.
Now, obviously, you can tell me where to shove it if you want to, but when we're running the bottom like that, do we hook up the right front brake, or you just leave that thing unchecked?
I didn't have mine hooked up.
Okay. So, see, that's another one of my problems then. That's probably why I tighten up so bad when I get on the brakes. That's why I'm telling you, I ask these for the people, but it's selfishly for me. I want to figure out how you guys drive so well, man. Scott touched on you raced here Tuesday night and won by about 2 seconds. Well, you beat that tonight, 2.5. Are we going to bring this thing back out again in the big block race, or are you going to bring a big block out?
We'll have to see. I'll have to see what times are. I mean, I really haven't experimented with a big block in a 358 yet here, so I guess we'll see.
Obviously, Scott, he likes to pull my strings, but he told me he's leaning small block, so you'll have to talk with him before you register that thing. But Sam, man, you really dominated this thing. I didn't give you as much camera time as you probably deserved because your teammate back there was under a blanket 4 wide for a lot of the time. But congratulations, man. Hell of a run. Who you want to thank?
All the boys over at FTM, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop. He's really been working hard on the dig. Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, Shaggy You for Broadcasting, and Coast to Coast.
Well, hey, man, good luck here. I expect to talk to you after the big block race, man. Pressure's on. Go get him.
Thank you.
Sam Bachman, man, does it again, dude. It's unbelievable. He's so comfortable. You see, he can run the outside. Reminds me, really, if you've been watching, Coast to Coast regularly last night. I mean, that's how Blake Chapman drove the sprint car. That bottom line 1 and 2, and ripped the outside through 3 and 4, and how comfortable Sam is on the bottom. You can see other drivers even behind him there. You can see they were just a little sideways on entry. Not the 007, man. He plants that thing. It's all about keeping it straight. That's where the speed's at. Does it once again. Brings home the checkered flag here in the Venom Racing Full Throttle Motorsports 358 small blocks. And with that, we're going to take a quick break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. And we'll be right back with the Driver's Choice small block or big block modifieds presented by Atlantic Management Resources. Stick around.
friends, it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get tonight when we talked about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Field shrunk down a little bit. Only 15 drivers so far registered for the big block modifieds. Mike Brewer currently at the top of the charts. Trevor Giroux, P2. Aiden Young rounds out the top three here. Still got a couple minutes before we can roll this thing. So you saw there the Coast to Coast Speed Weeks. Touch on it again. Make sure you go to c2crl.com. It's 5 nights of racing. Starts this Sunday. Gonna end next Thursday. So make sure you're here. Gonna be a lot of good racing all over the track. And, well, they weren't messing around. It just got quarter of. And they're going to advance this thing. They're ready to go. We're going to speed up this show here tonight. The checkered flag flies on warm-ups and we get ready to go into qualifying. Who's going to be the first on the racetrack? My money is on Brian Moore Sr. Just taking a random shot. It's not Brian Moore Sr. It's going to be... Oh, man, Trevor Giroux and Bob DeGood were neck and neck. There you see for a little bit, but Trevor a little ahead. So Trevor going to get the nod here for lap number 1. He takes the green flag, ready to go. At that 75 rolling around the middle here through 3 and 4 as well as 1 and 2. What's lap number 1 look like for the 075? Top of the charts, but not for long as the Spider Monkey in the 83, Brandon Dittmer, sets the pace with a 12:67. Remember qualifying times, the small block was a 12:84, I believe, by Sam Bachman, so not too much speed difference. And why I highlight that, may see some guys run that small block. I think Scott Rayone probably did run the small block. Going to qualify 8th. It may not pay off for him now in qualifying. I think it's going to help those guys as we roll into the features. Brian Moore Sr. comes around. He taps the wall. Lap number 2, not going to count. Going to have to stick with that first lap as Clay Christopherson comes around. He's P6 after lap number 2 as Gavin Chatham comes around for his second and final lap. Gavin Chatham, P2 in the 99. Doomed himself with a rough qualifying and heat race in the small blocks. Wasn't going to do it again. Answers the bell, but Brandon Dittmer, your quick time. Mike Brewer, there he goes. He came in P2 there. Snuck up on me. I knew something changed. We got Brandon Dittmer, Mike Brewer, Gavin Chatham, Sam Bachman, and Trevor Giroux, your top 5 here after qualifying. As we advance here into heat race number 1, only going to have 2 races here with the big block modifieds. Row number 4, starting on the outside in the 21, John Tobias, and lining up on the inside, the 444 of Scott Rayone. Row number 3 to the outside in the 513, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker, and lining up on the inside, the 011 of Randall Dixon. Row number 2 to the outside, your pole winner in the 83, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, and lining up on the inside, the 99 of Gavin Chatham. Row number 1 for heat race number 1. Starting on the outside, the 075 of the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. And starting on the pole, the 213 of Michael Vitale. Michael Vitale won heat race number 1 in the small block modifieds. Remember that. So let's see if he can go out here and do it again. Not going to be easy, but if anybody can do it, it's that 213 of Michael Vitale. We roll through 3 and 4. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 1 is underway. 8 laps to play. The Philly Flyer taking advantage of that big block, though, using that horsepower on the outside. All motor for the 075. And Trevor Giroux takes the lead early, lap number 1. Gavin Chatham stuck on the inside there. P4 for right now. Didn't seem like the inside line was where you wanted to be. You needed that outside to roll momentum off of two. You just couldn't find enough grip to get that thing up to speed. And we saw Michael Vitale fall back, Gavin Chatham fall back, and Randall Dixon. So top 3 rows, bottom line, didn't pay off. We see some of the drivers shifting back that way. That's why I'm touching on it. Brandon Dittmer likes it down there. Saw Gavin trying it for a little bit. Dittmer, though, running out of time here as we're halfway, 4 laps to go. And the Philly Flyer leading the way. Scott Rayome stuck back here in traffic. Hasn't been able to move on up. Started 7th, still running there as the Brewerton Beach. Jeff Barker, 2 spots up the road. He started 6th. He's moved up 1. Just kind of stalled out. Taking advantage of that high side starting position. As Gavin Chatham thinks about working his nose under that 83. He's got half the car under him. Coming out, Dittmer with a little more speed down the straightaway, but Gavin Chatham looking to make one last run. White flag flies, and Gavin just going to fall off the pace. Not going to have enough to get this thing done as we go down the backstretch. Final time through 3 and 4. Trevor Giroux wins heat race number 1, followed by Michael Vitale, Brandon Dittmer, and Gavin Chatham. Jeff Barker rounds out your top 5. As I try to reset some things here, my overlay included. Driver's still pacing or chugging around here. There we go. We're going to get the advance here for the next one. See if we can take a look here. Starting grid heat race number 2. Randy Shreves in the 56 lines up P7 up the road. Row number 3 on the outside in the 69, Aiden Young. And it is inside the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row number 2 to the outside, the 390 of Mike Brewer, and lining up on the inside, the 007 of Sam Bachman. Row number 1 for your second and final heat race here in your Atlantic Management Resources Big Block Modified Division. On the outside, the 055 of Brian Morris Sr. And starting on the pole, the 051 of Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson. Clay Christopherson rolls through 3 and 4 for the final time. You see the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. Brian Moore Sr. gets into the outside wall early. Causes commotion. Bob DeGood ends up going around in that 7. And early troubles for Bob as the war rages on ahead. Brian Moore Sr. tries to take advantage of that momentum. Wants to stay in P2 for now, but Sam Bachman on the inside, your 358 small block winner. Can he get it done? His best bet here, you got to get up to P2, possibly first, but you don't want to be running back here 3rd and 4th. It's going to really limit your chances here for the future. Not as easy to pass as some may make it out to be here. As Clay Christopherson setting the pace. Aiden Young coming into play here as he reels in the top 4. They've been running so tight that Aiden's been able to reel him in. Aiden's going to get to the outside here, try to see if he can get a run on the 007, but he shuts the door. And just like that, Sam looking at the back of his teammate there in the 39, Mike Brewer, moving his way on up. Can they find a way to make it a Full Throttle Motorsports top 3? Or is Brian Moore Sr. going to spoil the party? He takes a peek on the inside. Thought about throwing a slide job. Gives Putt Putt the door. Mike Brewer going to pay the cost. Aiden Young moves up 1 spot. Can he get another as the white flag flies? Sam Bachman, boy oh boy, was running P4. Finds himself P2. Does he throw one last lap move here? He sends it in. Little bit of contact. Give his teammates some redemption. Not going to do him any good, but he's going to win heat race number 2, followed by Brian Moore Sr., Clay Christopherson, Aiden Young, Mike Brewer, Randy Shreves, and Bob DeGood. But boy, oh boy, get your checkbooks ready. These guys are gonna go out here and beat each other up a little bit as we take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Stick around. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as warm-ups wrap up. Mike Brewer, Trevor Giroux, Scott Rayome, your top three. As we get ready to grid up for your Atlantic Management Resources Big Block Modified feature. 15 drivers make the call. As the checkered flag waves on warm-ups, and we get ready to take a look here at our starting grid. As hang on, I'm about to sneeze. And well, the bad thing about me is I don't just sneeze once, so it's going to be coming again here. But Blackjack John Tobias lines up on the inside of row number 8. Row number 7 to the outside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. And lining up on the inside, the 011 of Randall Dixon. Row number 6 to the outside, the 56 of Randy Shreves, and lining up on the inside, the 444 of Scott Rayome. Mike Brewer takes the 390 and lines up on the outside of row number 5. And to the inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Row number 4 to the outside, and the 69, the Young Gun, Aiden Young, and to the inside, the 99 of the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham. Row number 3 on the outside, the 051 of Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson, and lining up on the inside, the 83 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Row number 2 to the high side, the 055 of Brian Moore Sr., and to the inside, the 213 of Michael Vitale. Row number 1 for your Atlantic Management Resources Big Block, Small Block Modified feature at the Huset's Speedway. On the outside, the 007 of Sam Bachman. And starting on the pole, the 075 of Trevor Giroux as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 30 laps to play in the clay at Huset's Speedway. We're underway. Oh, 3 wide there for P2. Michael Vitale on the bottom, putt in the middle, and Sammy boy stuck on the outside, but that's where you want to be. He takes that momentum, rolls one up to P2, and he's going to see if he can't try to run down and flirt with that 75. The Philly Flyers setting the pace here as we come out of 4. 2 laps in the books. Mike Brewer trying to roll around the Spider Monkey. Brandon Dittmer stuck on that inside as he looks to the outside. Aiden Young there for now. Brewer all over the back of that 69 trying to will him on by. There goes Aiden with the run. And the Brew crew, you can hear them yelling. Come on, Brewer, come on. Got to get to the outside. Got to close that gap or the Spider Monkey's going to slide up. He's there. Brandon's stuck on the inside. Battle for the lead. Sam Bachman takes a peek on the inside. Only short-lived, though. Can't really find that momentum center off. And Trevor Giroux proving that high side's where you want to be. You may have to rough him up a little bit to get him off that. I think Trevor's hungry for a win. The man's got 24 laps to go this time by. Can the Philly Flyer hold on? Long way to go. We take a peek back here. Brian Moore Sr. takes a peek under the 513. The Brewerton Beast just got in the outside wall, but Jeff Barker trying to gather it back in. And that blue and yellow machine, he does, and he pulls on back by Brian Moore Sr. for the time being. Back in that wall, Bob the Good follows him. And man, oh man, entrance of 1 looks to be a trouble spot right now. Make sure you don't go and jump that cushion. Is Aiden Young, you see him there. He goes over that bump a little bit. Well, let's see here. Let's see what this bump looks like in the car. There you go. You can watch it just bounce. The shock there on the right front. I mean, that's really going to tighten up the race car and, really disrupt the way you want to drive this thing. So, driver's hoping that flattens out. But for now, Trevor Giroux using it to his benefit, beating it down. And got a lot of speed right now for the moment in that 075. Oh, he got in that wall. Sam Bachman thought about taking a peek, but like I said before the small block race, it's almost a 1-lane racetrack going down the straightaway. You want to get up against that outside wall, set yourself up for a good corner entry, or, not bind yourself up for speed coming off. So it's a tough racetrack. You got to be able and be willing to throw slide jobs. I mean, that's how you're going to get it done. That's how we saw Sam pass for the lead in the previous feature. But right now, Aiden Young moved himself up into the top 5. Able to get around Brewer, and now he's taking a peek, looking to move himself on up into the top 4. Michael Vitale downstairs, the 69. Welcome back, Aiden Young, already back into the top 5. Night number 1, the young gun on the move. Battle for the lead once again. Sam sends it in there. He knew it. He knew he wasn't going to make it stick. He got on the binders, and Trevor maybe heated in the moment. But when he goes back and look at this thing, Sam Bachman, my hat's off to you, sir. He knows he could have just wadded him up and taken that thing. But Sam knew his mistake. I'm going to eat it. He gets on the binders, and now he's got to find a way to reel him back in. The last lap went flag to flag. Good feeling this one might too here. We only have 12 to go. Only flag we've seen wave so far is that green. Oh, there we just caught the top of it there. Randy Shrees and Brandon Dittmer rubbing a little bit. Shrees down to the inside. Not able to make it stick there, get it to work, as Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkey, trying to throw everything he's got at the 213 is Mike Brewer working back on the 69 here of Aiden Young. Aiden looking for a podium. Sam made that mistake, and that breathes some life into the 69 and the 39. They see that podium so close, and What makes you find a little speed you didn't know you had? Aiden and Mike, while battling, continue to reel in Sam Bachman. As Trevor Giroux with 8 to go. Caution, flag flies at the Huset Speedway. Our first caution of the evening here for Extreme E-Speed TV. Thursday Night Thunder. Who would have guessed, man? 52 laps into 60. First caution of the night, and Gavin, it starts up in front. He gets into the 444, then comes back up, tries to close the doors. Randall Dixon had a big move. Not able to get in the binders in time. He gets in the outside wall, gets a shot then from Jeff Barker. And Randall Dixon up in the wall. Barker around. Going to do a 360 here. Keep on rolling. I've told you guys in the past, Barker's a real man. There's a reason I bug him to run the GT3s with us every year. You see him do that 360 and just keep on driving. Jeff Barker with some hot hands out here. Let's see here. Lights are still on the racetrack. We'll see what happens here. Keep an eye on under the starter stand. You can see that yellow light blinking. If she shuts off, we're going back racing. If she stays blinking, well, we'll go around again. And you see she shut off. Lights off on the Steve King Foundation pace car. We're going to get ready to go back and play here. It will be a single file restart within 10 laps to go. Saw some drivers chomping at the bit there to go double file, but not going to happen. Within 10 to go. Going to have 7 laps when we get the green. And the Philly Flyer watches the Steve King Foundation pace car pull off. He drops the hammer, and we're back underway. 7 to play at Huset Speedway. Trevor right to that outside man, trying to mount the charge here. And Aiden Young, he's going to mount the charge. He went right up there, tried to follow the Philly Flyer. What can he do here? He's reeling in the 007. Sam Bachman might be in that small block, you know, maybe committed to the bottom. We'll see. No, just as I say that, goes up, shuts the door. Probably got the memo there from his teammate in the 39 saying, hey, you got to go upstairs. As the battle heating up, Putt takes a peek. But that's all you can do through 1 and 2. They just get that peek. They drive it in a little deeper than the guy upstairs, and you just don't get that run off the corner that you need to really compete. And seeing it there with the 007 is Trevor Giroux eking out that lead 100th and 1,000th at a time, just slowly but surely with 3 to go. Somebody's going to really need to throw something here if they want to spoil that party. Brandon Dittmer trying to find a way around Mike Brewer, but really nowhere to go. Aiden Young on the outside, Brewer to the bottom. Is Dittmer maybe blinking a little bit. White flag flies. One more trip around for the Philly Flyer. Clay Christopherson takes a peek on the inside, just doesn't have enough. Final time through 3 and 4. Trevor Giroux shuts the door, blocks the top, takes home the checkered flag at the Huset Speedway. Clay Christopherson P2, and Sam Bachman holds on to P3. Aiden Young and Mike Brewer round out your top 5 as the Philly Flyer finds a way to hold on. And tell you what, our hats off there to that 007 Sam Bachman. Maybe the quickest car, we'll never know. Tries to make a pass on the bottom. Has a little bit of a hiccup. Was gonna get into the side of our leader there in the 075, and well, does the absolute gentlemanly thing and make sure he's gonna ruin anybody's race. He's going to ruin his own, and he didn't even do that. Still bringing home a podium. Congratulations to the 007 of Sam Bachman. Get ready here. I'm sure we're going to hear the whip crack here. Not sure why that came up colored. There we go. That was bugging me. Had to go to the transparent. Somehow here when I did that refresh, things are all changing. Let's go ahead. Let's pull up The 007 there, Sam Bachman. Sam, first off, man, hats off to you because we both know what you did there, and it could have been really bad, man, but you bit the bullet. You ate it, man. You knew it was your mistake, and that's what everybody should love about this 007, man. You're one of the classiest drivers out there. Great run. Congratulations on holding on to that third, but talk to us about it.
Oh yeah, I kept getting a really good run on bottom of 1 and 2 on Trevor, but 3 and 4 just seemed like it was just top dominant. So I thought I had a really good run, so I tried throwing a slider, but it didn't look like it was gonna clear, and I probably would have sent him to the hot dog stand. So lucky I got out of it just in time, and he got just by me a little bit, but he probably got a little wheel damage, but glad it didn't mess him up.
No, now, like, take us into your, obviously, try to get us into that helmet a little bit. After you make that mistake and you got that big gap to the two in front of you, what goes through your head? I mean, how do you calm yourself down and try to reel him back in?
I guess I don't really know. I just knew once I did that, I made a pretty big mistake, and it was going to be hard to get back up there and pass him because this track's pretty hard to pass.
Yeah, it's something I mentioned during the race. I mean, you tried it there, but correct me if I'm wrong. All drivers, they're fighting for up against the wall coming out of the corner. It's almost, it's not like Williams Grove because it's so small, man, but it is slide or die here, it seems like.
Oh yeah, it is, because it just seems like the corners are just, I don't know, there's not much of a corner when you try to slide or whatever, so it's just super small. So if you're gonna slide, you got to make sure you get a good run and try to clear them.
Well, Sam, you raced your butt off tonight so far, 2 podiums. That's a great job, man. You got to be proud of yourself. Who you want to thank, brother?
All the boys over at FTM, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop, he's really been working hard on the dig. Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, X for installation, Shaggy, you for broadcasting, and Coast to Coast.
Well, hey, great run, Sam. Look forward to talking to you again next week, brother. Give him hell.
Thank you.
Sam Bachman bringing home P3, and now we're going to talk to the man who snuck around the outside. Clay, how big did those eyes get when you watched those two in front of you make a little bit of contact? Did you think you were going to have a chance for the lead there?
I had a chance of that and half pooping myself because I didn't know if Sam was going to be stopping right there or what was happening. So it was, this is nice, but this might hurt.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to get to the back then of Trevor, but it just seemed like, you struggled the same thing Sam did. I mean, if you're not willing to go in there and rough the guy up, I mean, you've got to have one hell of a run to throw a slider, it seems like, to complete a pass here in these things.
And especially being in a 358, we didn't have the gun out of the corner. We had corner speed, but not the exit. So if he would grip up for a second, there went all our drive that we also had to slow down for. Otherwise, we would have rear-ended him a couple times. But no, the car felt good. It was a fun race. Was trying the bottom here and there. It was there, but it wasn't. That caution killed us, though. We had the momentum. It had to restart with only 8 to go, though.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously not on your level, but I do understand that a little bit. But just to elaborate, I mean, you kind of referring to, I mean, it's tough on the restarts in dirt. I mean, the leader basically got 2 to 3 laps advantage. They go whenever they want, and you got to, meanwhile, in the small block, rebuild your momentum back.
Yeah, you got to rebuild. You got to kind of enter the track different because your tires are going to be cooler. So the whole track, by the time your tires get warmed back up in momentum, you got a white flag in your face. So it's tough, but it's pretty fun to run the 358s with the big blocks, just to sometimes see the pull you can get just with traction.
Yeah. I mean, it was a eventful race. I noticed maybe not your stand out there in qualifying with the small blocks, but once we got racing, man, you guys right there in the game and showed you can go out there and be just as fast as those guys, maybe a little faster if you're on the track by yourself, but tough to pass out here. That's the name of the game sometimes, and being able to bring home a second and third for FTM, you got to be happy with that, Clay. Who you want to thank?
You guys for putting this on, all the boys at FTM and Swan Speed Shop for 358 and big block sets.
Well, hey, great run, Clay. Good luck the rest of the night, man. Hopefully they see you in the late models.
Thank you, sir.
Clay Christopherson, your winner here in the your P2 finisher here in the big block modifieds. I tried to give it away. This man won. The 075, Trevor Giroux, took advantage of the pole, and you never looked back, man. How good was this race car tonight?
Honestly, man, it was car felt good. I mean, the driver didn't feel too good. I got some learning to do here at this track, but took advantage of just starting up front. You know, it's track position. You know what they say about it, right? It's important, and yeah, and then that yellow with like 8 or whatever, 7 or 8 to go. It just I think that kind of saved my butt because I was able to get a nice jump there, and Clay was coming, and I don't know where Sam was, but them guys are way faster. I mean, I don't even know how I won this dang thing, but we'll definitely take it. I mean, like I said, car felt good. It's got some learning to do here.
Well, I can tell you how you won that thing, man. You used every ounce of horsepower that thing had on the high side. And was that the plan here? You taking the big block, just knowing got to beat down this wall and find grip even when there isn't any?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I kind of knew going into it that I wanted to take a big block. So I kind of told myself it's going to probably be on the high side. I mean, bottom maybe in the heats, but even then it was like more middle or whatever. But yeah, it was just, bang that cushion and try not to get in the wall, which I did plenty of tonight. So hopefully going into the late models, I've wore all of that out of me and I don't even touch the wall.
Now, obviously, don't get yourself in trouble here, but we just saw it on the broadcast. And when you look at it, man, you'll realize, obviously, Sam, man, did all he could to stay off of you. But what's going through your head, man? He messes up that slide job, clips the apron a little bit. Are you thinking you're going to end up in the popcorn stand?
Oh, it's funny you say that because me and Sam just had a little chat, and I told him he should have just sent it. I didn't realize he got into the berm, which sent him up. But I told him he should have just sent it, and he's like, "No, if I did that, you would have been in the hot dog stand." So, I mean, my thought process there, I thought he just wanted to throw a slider and maybe misjudged it, and we just made a little contact. No harm, no foul. It's racing, right? And I'm pretty good friends with Sam, so I know he wouldn't do nothing on purpose. But yeah, I mean, like I told him, I kind of saw it coming, and I was just, kind of got onto my brakes a little bit, was going to cross him up, and then, yeah, we just made a little contact there, but no harm, no foul. It's just racing.
Well, Trevor, the car stayed healthy after that. It's good to see, man. Start out front, lead every lap, and bring it home. Congratulations, Trevor. You're one of my favorites, man. Let's hear it, brother. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank all the guys at Venom. Isaac, and bad luck in the 358s, but thank all them guys for doing everything they do to keep us running here, and great group of guys over there. Thank Dean Reynolds of the Super Dirt Car Series, love that guy. Thank him for everything, coming on board every season. I'm happy to put him in victory lane here a few times this season, and RSN Trackside, Big Tim Race Wraps. Thank everyone at C2C for putting this stuff on. Thank you, Shaggy. You're the man. I love you. Thank you for everything you do. Yeah, looking forward to the Pro Lates next. See if we can park it in Victory Lane again.
Yeah, I might go out there and run last again. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But good luck out there, Trevor, and congratulations on the win, man.
Thank you, brother.
And that's going to wrap it up here for the Big Block Modifieds here at the Huset's Speedway. And I'm going to bring in the broadcaster here who's going to pick up the final race here, the Pro Late Models. Travis, man, it's been, I think we've had one caution here tonight. So Pro Late, so they got a lot to live up to here.
I know you got to me quick tonight, as cars are already on the track at Huset's, and we'll see if we can keep it clean here with the Pro Late Models and finish up the night in style.
All right, well, we're going to step away here for real quick. I'm going to mute us here. We'll do a quick television TV swap, but thanks for tuning into my portion, and make sure you stick around here for the Pro Lates presented by Extreme eSpeed TV. Stick around.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to Thursday Night Thunder presented by Extreme Speed TV as we have the Pro Late Models coming up next year on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. As always, thank you for tuning in. We've got the Pro Late Models out on the track here at Hussets tonight. As atop the point standings, it is Anthony Morano and Trevor Giroux. They've combined for 4 and 2 wins. Of the 8 this winter season, Randy Shreves, John Tobias, and Brandon Templeton round out your top 5. Cars are out on the track for this practice session before we get going here with the Pro Late Models. Of course, Shaggy TV with all the coverage for the modifieds here leading up to this point. As you can see those times over to the left here during this practice session. Of course, as always, thanks for tuning in to another Thursday Night Thunder. Of course, Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights, the presenting sponsors of our Pro Late Model division. As a couple cars still out there on the track, including Mike Brewer in that 39 machine. As we will wait for this practice session to come to a close and move on to our racing action here. You can see during the session, Brewer atop the charts, best time of a 12:49. As we've got about 4 more minutes left in this warm-up session. Of course, as always, thank you for tuning in this Thursday night. No cars on the track right now as they prepare to get back out there here and complete our Thursday Night Thunder for another week. as we had FTM and Venom Racing, the small blocks earlier tonight here from Hussets, and then with the Atlantic Management Resources Big Block Modifies that just wrapped up on Shaggy TV. And now, of course, we've got that Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights coming up right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network with the Extreme E-Speed TV. Of course, the Daytona Duel's on tonight as well, so racing is back. Thankfully, we've had the Coast to Coast Racing League all winter long to keep everyone's racing juices fulfilled. As we look here, we've got Trevor Giroux here tonight. He currently sits second in points, has picked up 2 wins. Anthony Marano not here at the track yet. Only 9 cars here tonight, so we'll see. He had 4 wins and 8 starts this year. So a 50% winning percentage here through this winter session. Not a bad start to his winter season. So Trevor Giroux will try to pick up a win here and inch closer to that league lead for the winner. Other winners this year, Clay Christopherson and Dan McLaren. And then it's Anthony Marano and Trevor Giroux with multiple wins this year. So we're about a minute away from moving on to the qualifying session here. As 8:30 about to come to. Do see a couple cars out on the track, including Greg Parmalee. Going to get a few laps in here before time is up, it appears. Scott Rayome also out there, and there's that checkered flag for the practice session. So Greg Parmalee will get 1 lap in before we wave the checkered flag there and move on to racing action here for the Pro Late Models as we'll get that qualifying session set up. No Brandon Templeton tonight either. He's normally one of the first cars out here to take that qualifying lap. So for tonight, it will be Greg Parmalee, it looks like, the first one to take the green flag. Trevor Giroux right behind him as that 75 machine starts his first time lap. We'll, of course, put those times up over to the left as they come in. So Giroux shoots to the top of the charts at 12:77. Kurt Schatzer out on the track as well, along with Gary Offit. He currently sits 8th fastest. Mike Brewer is done as there's Clay. As Mike Brewer shoots to the top of the charts at 12:07. Chatham second at 12:71. Giroux third, but Mike Brewer will pick up the quick time here from Hussets tonight. And we'll very quickly here with 9 cars head off into heat races. Should be almost evenly split between 5 and 4 if I had to guess so myself. As time counts down on our qualifying session, And there our qualifying session will come to a close. Mike Brewer, Gavin Chatham, and we'll invert them there as Mike Brewer will line up in heat race number 1, and it's going to line up like this. Row number 1, it's Randy Shreves alongside Kurt Schatzer. Row number 2, it's Trevor Giroux alongside Mike Brewer, and Gary Offit will start 5th here in heat race number 1. So we'll get them lined up and ready to go here on the small bull ring of Hussets, as this will set that inside row for our 30-lap feature event coming up here shortly. So it's Schatzer and Shreves, they're on row number 1 that will get us started. So 2 by 2 they get their way around this track. Bull ring, as you can see how narrow and banked that front stretch is here, as we'll ride along with Kurt Schatzer there as he makes his way around behind that pace truck. So 2 by 2 we get ready to go. Shreves and Schatzer here will take us to green. Just like that, green flag waves, and we're racing from Hussets here in heat race number 1 for the Pro Late Models. Shreves down there to the inside, Schatzer to the outside. Giroux quickly looking down to the inside of Shreves. That's for the second spot, as Schatzer will take over that lead. Shreves able to hold off Giroux, as now that's Brewer in the 390 machine. He'll move around Giroux. He's in the 3rd spot as they make slight contact there. Giroux trying to make that inside line work. Nothing there, as he'll fall back to that 4th spot. Out front, it's still Kurt Schatzer, as they're nose to tail behind him with Shreves and Brewer, your top 3. Great racing action there, as it's now Brewer peeks to the inside of Shreves. Nothing there. He'll fall back in line as we're halfway, 4 laps to go. Things settle down now as Schatzer continues to lead with 3 to go. Front 4, single file there. Gary Offit running in the 5th position. White flag will wave this time by Kurt Schatzer out front, looking to pick up a heat race number 1 victory here tonight. It'll put him on the pole in that 30-lap feature event here at Hussets tonight. Out of turn number 4. Oh, it's Shreves at the line. Schatzer 2nd. Brewer 3rd. So Shreves will steal the victory right at the line. He was able to get to that outside line and took advantage of it as we line up for heat race number 2. Row number 1 is going to be Greg Parmalee on the pole alongside Clay Christopherson in 2nd. 3rd will be Scott Rayom alongside Gavin Chatham, and those 4 will round out our field. So we'll get lined back up here on the front stretch, 8 more laps here. This will set up that outside row for the 30-lap feature event. So we'll roll off on the front stretch here as we get ready to go. 8 more laps here. Greg Parmalee, Christopherson getting set to lead us back to racing action. So 2 by 2. We go around. So we'll make our way around here. Pace truck in. Parmalee Christopherson will take us back to green. Green flag waves, and we're back to racing action at Hussets. Outside line, Christopherson will jump out front there. Chatham looking to the outside of Parmalee now for that second position. Parmalee now holding off Chatham. They're battling on that inside line. He'll slide up into that second position now. So Clay able to jump out front here, only 6 laps to go. Using that outside line advantage, he jumps out front as all 4 separated here by at least half of a second. So single file up around that outside as they go right now. Christopherson able to now stretch his lead out over a second. So as Parmalee settles into that second position, it's Christopherson still out front, 3 laps to go. Now 2 laps to go. Laps going by quickly here at Hussets tonight. Is Christopherson looking to pick up the heat victory here? 1 lap to go. That will start him on that outside front row in that 30-lap feature event coming up here next. As he makes his way around, another clean race here. As it is Christopherson, Parmalee, Rayome rounding out the field as Christopherson helps Chatham make it around the track. You can see he had trouble there with his right front, but just like that, heat race number 2 comes and goes with another winner, which is Christopherson, which as mentioned will start him on that outside row of the front row here coming up shortly. But with that, we'll start this practice session here before the 30-lap feature event. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have that starting lineup as we've got the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights Pro Late Models here at Hussets on Extreme E-Speed TV Thursday Night Thunder. And just like that, we are back at Hussets, getting ready to go here for this feature event for the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights Pro Late Models. As we prepare for cars to get gridded out there on the track after that warm-up session. And they're going to line up like this. It's going to be Randy Shreves on the pole alongside Clay Christopherson, the two heat winners. Kurt Schatzer will start third alongside Greg Parmalee. Mike Brewer fifth, Scott Rayome sixth, Trevor Giroux in seventh, and Gavin Chatham in eighth. So 2x2 will get ready to go. So Randy Shreves, Christopher Sin, the front two. As it looks like we're going 40 laps here tonight at Hussets. .40 laps at Hussets as the green flag waves, and we're back to racing action here at the Pro Late Models feature event. 40 laps tonight as it's Christopherson Shreves out front. Schatzer settles into that third position here very quickly. Great racing throughout. You go back, Scott Rayome trying to hold off Chatham. Behind him, Greg Parmalee back there as well. Trevor Giroux runs in that fifth position here. Christopherson leads early as he's got Shreves all over the back, and Schatzer in third looking to be aggressive here early as well. Up around the top line continues to be that preferred line is Brewer. He's up a spot now, looking to the inside of Schatzer for third. All the way down to that inside curbing there. As Brewer aggressive on that inside line. We saw that was a hard move to make in the heat race. He's down there though. He will take that third spot. Now he's working over that second position of the 56 of Shreves. Brewer down low, making it work here early as he inches further and further up along that side of the 56 of Shreves. Christopherson just up ahead in the lead as very quickly we've got 8 laps down. Brewer continues. He's into that second spot now as he clears Shreves there. Shreves into that wall. He'll ride that wall all the way into the corner as he will keep going. As that battle now heats up for the lead as it's Brewer working his way up behind the 51 of Christopherson now. Christopherson still using that outside line as now Brewer will jump up there as well. Oh, there's Shreves and Offit have an issue as Shreves will go into the pits. Offit down to the inside. He's staying out there and making his way. And there's the caution. Yeah, it looks like it was just maybe off. It got too low there in the track, but very quickly a dozen laps down. So, first caution of the night here for the Pro Late models. So we'll line up 2 by 2. It's going to be interesting here. It's going to be Christopherson down to the inside. He's going to have Brewer to his outside. Brewer up 3 spots, drove up there using that inside line. So now we'll see what he does there on the outside. As Schatzer will start there on the inside of row number 2 alongside Giroux. So we'll get him lined back up, ready to go back to racing action. Green flag waves. Good jump by Christopherson there on the inside. He's able to jump up, but he'll quickly move back down to that inside line with Schatzer behind him. Schatzer and Brewer continue to do battle for second as Trevor Giroux and Chatham watch on from behind. Oh, slight contact there with Brewer and Schatzer down the front stretch. They'll keep it going straight, though. Christopherson has to like what he sees behind him as their 2 by 2. Schatzer trying to make that inside line work. Nothing there as of yet as Brewer has a strong car, whether it's on that low line or that outside line. As now he wants to be able to get up to that 51 and see what he can do for the lead. As now Trevor Giroux joins this battle on the outside following Brewer around. Giroux's able to clear Chatham finally. Look like Parmalee may have been in the wall back there, but we'll stay green at this point. 23 laps to go as now Brewer is to the bumper of the 51 of Christopherson. He'll try to make a move for the lead. Brewer separated from Schatzer in that 3rd spot ever so slightly as now he's on the back of that 51 machine. Christopherson now moving down the track. 20 laps to go this time by. Cross sticks halfway. Sub 13 second time still here at Hussett. So moving through this feature event quickly even with the 10 extra laps. Good battle there for 3rd as well. You've got Schatzer, Giroux, Chatham all there. Is Giroux trying to use that inside line on Schatzer? He'll slide up, nothing there. That outside momentum keeps the position for Schatzer. Christopherson still holding off Brewer at this point. Brewer getting more aggressive to that inside line as we're running out of laps. It'll be 15 laps this time by. As Brewer continuing to pound that inside cushion. 14 now laps to go, unable to make up ground. He's going to go back to what got him up there, using that inside line. As you can see, this track is slicked over from the inside line all the way to the outside. Good run there by Schatzer as he moved down the track as well. Giroux will look to his outside to the outside of the corner there and close that gap on the 218. Nothing up front as Giroux has made it past Schatzer. He'll slide up in front of that 218. Chatham now to the inside of Schatzer as well. So just like that, Schatzer will go from third to fifth. Excuse me, Giroux's a lap down, so there was a glitch there at one point. It must have put him a lap down, so while he's racing up there with the leaders, he's one lap behind in that 6th position. Christopherson continues to lead. Brewer has fallen back ever so slightly. It's about a half a second lead. Then you've got to go back to Chatham in that 3rd spot. Giroux, the lap down there, has made his way past that. 4th, Rayome. As Schatzer had problems there, he's now off the track and 3 laps down. He'll run in 7th. As Christopherson leads with 4 laps to go now. Brewer trying to make that inside work and make up additional ground at this point. But, oh, he gets into the wall there. Brewer does. Hard hit for him. Chatham goes by. Rayome goes by. Brewer will make it into the pits, so a good run for him will come to an end. And Clay Christopherson has a 2-second lead now over Gavin Chatham. White flag will wave this time by. We'll have 3 cars on the lead lap. And 3 cars for the podium here is out of turn number 4. It's going to be Clay Christopherson, a win at Hussett's. Gavin Chatham 2nd, Scott Rayome in 3rd. So we will talk to our 3 podium finishers here in a moment, as it is Clay Christopherson with the win in the Pro Late Model tonight. And you can see there, Trevor Giroux will end up in 4th. Off at 5th, Brewer 6th, Schatzer 7th, Parmalee and Shreves. So a lot of issues out here on the track tonight for drivers. As we will wait to see who joins us up here in the booth. As it looks like we've got Gavin Chatham. He's our 2nd place finisher. Gavin, walk us through that one here tonight. It was really just trying to keep your car clean and on the track, and you were able to come away with a podium finish tonight.
Yeah, we got lucky there. Trevor had some issues. I think he did score a lap for him, so we probably should have finished third. But yeah, all in all, it was a good race for us. I really can't stand Defender cars. I'm not gonna lie. So coming out and being able to get a good finish, it's a kind of a smaller field, but even still to get a good finish and run a pretty solid, clean race for the most part, definitely makes me feel good about it. But yeah, no, it was interesting. It was kind of fun. It was kind of actually fun having a smaller field too, because you kind of maneuver a little bit more. Just had to be super patient, super smooth on the throttle. Just couldn't really find a good comfort zone in the line. I couldn't really run the top, and I was trying to roll the bottom there in a couple laps. I thought I was really good, and then it seemed like then the bottom went away and the top went back up, or the top was a faster line, and then I tried running the middle. So I was kind of like all over the place trying to search there. But all in all, definitely a good run for us. We'll definitely take a second place finish.
A lot of guys still learning the pro late models. Obviously, as you mentioned with Defenders, then you throw the bull ring of a Hussets track onto it. What kind of challenge did that bring to you tonight with the small track, but also the banking that this track brings?
Don't drive it like a sprint car. No, I usually takes me about I'm a big sprint car person. That's usually all I run. So it takes me about 8 to 10 laps to try to figure out what's going on again. But yeah, no, it's definitely challenging. Definitely challenging when you don't run these a lot. To figure it out, and then you add Huset's, which is already a tricky track as it is. Definitely makes it a challenge and makes it difficult. But just being patient, that's just so huge, and it's so huge in these late models. I mean, it just don't have the downforce like the sprint cars do to really kind of get on the throttle and hammer it. So I just kept trying to tell myself, be patient, be smooth out there, and just run a good clean race, and just try to pick and choose your battles and put yourself in the right spot, and it hopefully worked out, and it did.
Well, you come away with a second place finish. Who are those sponsors and those folks you want to give a shout out to?
I just want to thank you for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. I want to thank Coast to Coast Racing, all the sponsors, all the admin, everybody involved with this league puts on the races, allows us to come out here and put on the show for everybody. I just want to thank FTM, Full Throttle Motorsports, Chatham Motorsports, Mike's Chick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Swan Speed Shop, Super Dark Car Series. I always forget Super Dark Car Series. I just want to thank all the sponsors, all the help and the support they give us. I just want to thank the fans for coming out and watching these races. I hope we put on a good show for you all, and I just want to thank my fans as well for taking the time to watch the races and supporting me.
Well, congrats on the second place finish, Gavin, and we hopefully get to talk to you again here soon.
All right, thanks, Travis. You have a good rest of your night.
That is Gavin Chatham, our second place finisher tonight. Now we'll go back first. It's our third place finisher, and it's Scott Rayome. Scott, walk us through 40 laps here on the bull ring, and you come away with a third place podium finish.
Yeah, I'm a sixth place car out there. I mean, internet malfunctions, is iRacing for you. And, I feel bad for Trevor. Obviously, he should be here, not me. I mean, I blame it on that Ontario province government internet, I guess. Trevor needs to get a little better with that, I guess. But, I really got nothing to say. I don't know what I'm doing in these things. And I was just kind of riding around there, happy to get what I got. And next thing I know is, they cleared blacks and stuff. I had a black. They told me to start. I was starting in sixth on the outside, and we take the green flag, and it says I passed under yellow. So, I mean, there's definitely something glitchy there. And I hate it for Trevor, because Trevor's one of the classiest guys out here. He's got one of the coolest dogs out here. And, I hate it for him, because he obviously had a second or third place car, wherever he was running. And, is what it is, I guess. I'll take it, but reluctantly.
Well, we talked about it with Gavin too. You have obviously a lot of guys trying to learn the pro late models, and then you throw on the short track here with the banking. What was the additional challenge that brought tonight?
Honestly, I'm just trying to learn. I mean, I saw where those guys were running. I was trying to run that, and then I'm like, I had a pretty decent gap between. I think the guy that was behind me in seventh was a lap down. So I'm like, I'm just going to try to learn. I'm going to try to run the bottom, because it's only my fourth or fifth race in these things. So I was using it as basically a learning experience, and obviously following guys like Clay and Trevor and Gavin can learn a lot. So I was trying to at least keep them within sight and see how they're running. And, I'm running it way too hard after talking after the race, and, Clay was running like quarter throttle down the straightaways, and I'm like, Jesus, that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm running like a 358. I should have been running like a big block. So, it's a learning curve for sure, and I'll get there. It's just seat time and these things, like it was with the modifieds when I first started out.
Well, it was a good run, Scott, and no matter what happened for the night, you're gonna have a top 3 finish here. Who are those sponsors and those folks you want to give a shout out to?
All the guys over at FTM. Anthony Morano is dealing with a little bit of stuff, so praying for him tonight. And Dean at Super Dirt Car Series, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop for all your modified big block, small block sets. DJ for making this wrap, DJ Sim Shop, and Dirt Track Bank for sponsoring this, you for doing the broadcast.
Well, great run, Scott. It was nice talking tonight, and hopefully we get the chance to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Thanks.
That's Scott Rayom, our 3rd place finisher tonight, and our winner from Victory Lane, it's Clay Christopherson. Clay, you held off a couple battles there for 40 laps and come away the winner tonight. Walk us through those 40 laps and what took you to Victory Lane.
I had a good start on the green, and then from there it just went up on the top. And the way I was able to run it, I was able to keep the tires cool and not wear so fast. So I was kind of setting pace for a little while, and then I heard Mike behind me and underneath and experimenting where to go, and I hammered down a little bit, and as soon as I wouldn't hear him anymore, I'd kind of pace again because it just felt so comfortable up there and smooth. It felt consistent up there, and that was, if I could save tires up there while doing that, I'm going to stay up there.
I was going to ask you about that because Mike picked up about 3 or 4 spots by using that inside line. Obviously, the rest of you were more comfortable in that outside line. And then quickly, once he got up to you, you jumped down to the inside. Was that just to try to kill his momentum and take that line away? And I was going to ask you kind of about the process there as you quickly moved back up, as you mentioned, once he was a little bit further behind you.
Yeah, I wanted to see if it was coming in consistently, and I ended up just liking the momentum from the top. But no, I tried 1 and 2 on the bottom, and there was nothing 3 and 4 I could find on the bottom. But yeah, 1 and 2 I experimented for a couple laps to see what he was looking at, and there was stuff down there, but the consistency, I think what it was tonight.
When you have a driver like that behind you that's picking up spots running a lane like that, and he comes up to you, what goes through your mind? Are you kind of surprised that go, okay, maybe there's something down there I'm missing, or do you just try to stick running your lane because that's what's kept you out front at that point?
I'll usually run my lane, and then if they get by me, I'll follow for 1 lap, get a gist of where they're at, and then experiment in that zone that they're at and see if I can find anything else to take his line away.
Gotcha. Well, it was a great run by you tonight. You come away with the victory. Who are those folks and those sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Thank all you guys for putting it on, all the guys at FTM and Swan Speed Shop for 358 and big block sets.
Well, great run tonight, Clay, and we'll see if we talk to you again here with the Pro Late Models another week here on Thursday Night Thunder.
Thank you, sir.
That is Clay Christopherson, our winner here tonight, as we'll show that final and official order. As it is Clay Christopherson, your winner, Gavin Chatham, Scott Rayom, your podium, Trevor Giroux will come home 4th, Gary Offit, Mike Brewer, Kurt Schatzer, Greg Parmalee, and Randy Shreves. Mike Brewer, Kurt Schatzer both ran up front for some of the race before problems. But at the end of the night, it's Clay Christopherson, your winner here. And as always, thankful to the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights for our Pro Late Models. Thankful to all the fans tuning in here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I am Travis Pearsall with Extreme E Speed TV. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you at the racetrack soon.